As we get ready for hurricane season, we're taking a look back at one of the worst storms to ever hit our stretch of the Gulf Coast. 20 years ago, Hurricane Ivan made landfall on Gulf shores, and meteorologist John Nodar revisits the path of destruction it left behind.
By the time Hurricane Ivan arrived on the Gulf Coast, it was already a killer. In all, Ivan took 94 lives and did more damage than any hurricane in the previous 100 years. A lot of that damage was in Gulf shores, where Bo Smith was a young firefighter. As Ivan came ashore, winds were too strong to send the fire trucks out.
And we're just sitting around this fire station, listening to this place start creaking, like what an old ship would do. And we're thinking, wow, maybe we shouldn't be here.
It's 20 years later, and Bo's a battalion chief now. He clearly remembers what happened next when one of the firefighters tried to open a bay door.
And when they opened that door, it sucked all of the fiberglass skylights just straight out. And then part of the roof started bouncing. And it was at that point that we decided it was time to get out of here. And so we grabbed our stuff, and we all got in a straight line, and we hightailed it to the police department. And we stayed there for the rest of the night.
Ivan formed in the Atlantic near the Cape Verde Islands and quickly became a major hurricane, hitting Category 5 in the Caribbean. It brought death and destruction to Barbados, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica before its first U.S. landfall on September 16, 2004. It looped around Florida and made a second U.S. landfall as a tropical depression in Louisiana.
We are right in the center of the watch area, and it's likely that this will be turned into a hurricane warning.
Bayou La Battery officials have closed all the roads into and out of the city.
In the U.S., the damage total was $20 billion with 25 people dead, 8 of those here on the Gulf Coast. Winds at landfall whipped to 120 miles an hour, with a gust of 145 miles per hour recorded over Wolf Bay. Storm surge was nearly 13 feet at its highest, clobbering condos and homes along the coast, cutting a new pass to Lake Shelby and Gulf State Park, and destroying much of the I-10 Escambia Bay Bridge. Inland, the storm brought flooding rains and dozens of tornadoes. Ivan weakened quickly and dramatically to a Category 3 just before landfall, or things would have been even worse. Bo's Firehouse No. 1 was wrecked beyond repair and eventually torn down.
These bay doors were rebuilt stronger. The whole firehouse was rebuilt stronger. In fact, everything in Gulf Shores was rebuilt stronger. Less than 2 weeks after Ivan, the City Council adopted new, tougher building standards.
I just built my parents a home. In fact, they moved in 2 weeks ago, and it had to be built to a 150-mile-an-hour wind load, which means a lot of bracing, a lot of extra expense, a lot of window covers, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it's the right call because it keeps the devastation down, which means your recovery is a lot faster.
Meteorologist John Nodar, News 5.